Now before we get stuck into actually learning all the concepts of Python, let's just go over some basics on how we can use Jupyter notebooks to be super helpful and efficient while we're doing Python. Now just to remind you, if you haven't got Python downloaded locally or you're having any issues, you can always use this website, which is basically Google's created something very similar where you can do exactly what we're doing but online, so you don't need to download anything. You just go to colab.research.google.com. You might have to set up a Google account to use it, I'm not sure, and then you basically just select to create a new Python 3 notebook. We'll be using Python 3 the whole time and not Python 2, and that's very important. So let's just go over how to start up Jupyter Notebook. So I'll just close it here, and I'll just close my command prompts. So if you're on a Mac, you go to your terminal, and if you are on a PC, you go to your command line. So to get to the terminal on the Mac, you just go to Launchpad and type in terminal, and you should be able to find it there. Otherwise, if you're on PC, search at the bottom CMD for command prompt. Once that's opened, you literally just write in Jupyter, spelled Jupyter, then notebook as another word. You just wait for a few seconds while that's loading up. And then you should see a page like this, which is the home page, and it shows you all of your folders along here. But then if you go to the right, where my cursor is, you just click on New, and then Notebook, Python 3. And now you've got Jupyter Notebook running nicely. And you can do, just to make sure it's working, you can do things like that. 1 + 9 = 10. That's your input and that's your output. These are all called cells. So you have lots of different cells. So you can run different bits of code in different cells if you want. And so a few shortcuts to do. If you're in a cell like this, and you can see this sort of popping up, you press ESC to exit it. And then you can go up or down to go between them. If you press D twice, so you double tap D, that deletes the cell. If you want to see all the potential things that you can do, as long as you're not selected in one of these cells, so you select out of it, press H, and you can see all the different shortcuts that you have. But really the most useful things for me are the very basic ones, which are essentially just that, like I say, if the whole cell is selected like this and this is blue, you double tap D, it deletes the cell. And if you want to run a cell, you can just do Shift Enter. So you have all these buttons at the top which are very helpful. So you could just press Run and that will run it for you. So if I just change the number, for example, click Run. But if you're selected in here anyway, you can just do Shift Enter and it will run the cell for you. If you just press Enter, it gives you another line and you can do whatever you like. And it outputs, this is basically the input code and this is the output here. If you want to add new cells, you can always just press the plus button here. And that's basically it. So now that we've gone over the basic use of Jupyter Notebook, now let's get stuck into some Python.